It's back to business, but not even close to back to normal in a community still shaken by that shootout. Good afternoon, I'm Ann Shatilla, and this is UPN News Live at 3:30. Well, the drama that paralyzed a Valley neighborhood is over, but the nerves are still rattled today. The holdup at the Bank of America branch on Friday turned North Hollywood into a war zone. In a moment, you will see how the people are coping today, but first, more on the men behind that shootout. Larry Atterbury is standing by live in North Hollywood. Larry, what can you tell us about these people?
Well, Ann, the two men who robbed this bank apparently knew that a large amount of cash had just been brought into this B of A branch. How did they know? Well, it's just one of the many hundreds of questions that investigators are asking today. But one question has been solved. Their identities have been confirmed. The coroner's office now makes it official. The two dead bank robbers are 26-year-old Larry Eugene Phillips Jr. and 30-year-old Emil Mazzarillo. Who are they? Both had minor criminal records. Phillips arrested in 1991 on a weapons possession charge in the city of Orange, a year later in Denver for residential burglary. Mazzarillo was sued for credit card violations, later for not paying car rentals. Both were arrested in Glendale by the police on October 23, 1993. It started out as a speed arrest, but officers became suspicious. They searched Phillips and found a 9mm loaded pistol in his waistband. Then a search of the 93 Thunderbird turned up a huge cache of weapons, including two AK-47s, nearly 2,000 rounds of ammunition, disguises, handguns, police scanners, everything for a professional robber.
Our feeling at that time is they were either had just committed a robbery or were about to go en route to commit a robbery somewhere. Putting our sources out, we could not find any victims anywhere. The
arrests were clearly made before a crime had been committed at the time. The men served 4 months for gun possession. 3 years later in May, that's last year, two bank robberies in Van Nuys and Winnetka. They were very similar to what happened last Friday. Only then the two bandits were able to get away with between $1.3 and $1.7 million. Even before the shootout last week, the FBI was trying to trace the money from those holdups. Now, the federal ATF, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms investigators, are trying to find out where the two men obtained the illegal weapons they used. Now, several police agencies are already looking into searching for any connection between these two robbers and whether they have organized crime or perhaps a paramilitary group. Up to this moment, we have just been told there is no evidence of any connection. We are live in North Hollywood. Larry Atterbury, UPN News 13, and back to you.
All right, Larry Atterbury, thanks very much. Well, most of the bullet holes are covered up today. The parking lot has been swept clean of the bullet casings and all that glass. And just after 9 o'clock this morning, well, the Bank of America branch reopened. But still, there are many reminders today of Friday's firestorm. The bullet holes are patched up at the Bank of America. The yellow crime tape is down. New flowers were planted this morning, and shattered windows have been boarded up. But it's another story for the shattered nerves of some customers.
I'm scared, very scared.
Even armored car drivers were wary. Bank employees were escorted past reporters by security guards.
Well, employees are a little nervous, as you might imagine. But they're anxious to get on with their lives.
Not all reported for work today. Some were still too frightened, Walker said. When the bank finally opened, customers filed through like any other normal day. Inside, there was no trace of the deadly gun battle that took place. Some customers, like Darcy Rivas, took the whole thing in stride.
You have to come back. You know, life goes on. I mean, you can't let guns and all that stuff intimidate you.
Across the street, it was another story. The remnants of the bloody battle were still apparent. Tape covers up bullet holes in this apartment complex. A bullet-riddled store window and the still shattered nerves of the owner, who asked we not show her face.
Are you scared today?
Yeah, I'm still scared. I'm very shocked.
And there are the heroes, like this dentist, who treated one of the wounded officers.
I knew I had to take care of his pain. I mean, my concern was his pain.
2 of the 11 officers injured during that shootout remain hospitalized at this hour. 31-year-old Stuart Guy and 29-year-old Martin Winfield are both recovering right now at Northridge Hospital Medical Center. Guy was shot in his right leg and arm. Whitfield suffered wounds to his left arm and chest. Both officers are listed in good condition.